What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Sunday. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. Having a look at what is going on, we do notice that Bitcoin is sitting around $8,000. We're down about 1.2%. Now this morning, we actually did try to have a little bit of a dump, but we got wicked out at around $7,897. And actually yesterday, we tried to pump up and we got stomped out at around $8,361. So Bitcoin is having difficulty moving in either direction, and we are approaching a very critical point. We do have some upward support, but we are sitting below the 200 daily moving average, and we have some people saying that we have to potentially put in a 75% dump from the 14,000 high, which would bring us incredibly low. I want to talk about that moving forward because we are at a very critical moment right now where Bitcoin is going to see a movement within the next 24 to 48 hours, and I would say sooner than later. So we're definitely going to discuss that. And also, on the bright side, we do have a candidate for Congress who is running against Nancy Pelosi, and she is only accepting exclusively cryptocurrency. So that's pretty cool. If that sounds good to you, well, you know what to do. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, well, what are you waiting for? We do this every single day, as you can see clearly, even on Sundays, and Sunday is the last day. If you want to enter for your chance to win the Ledger Nano S, we will do a random drawing tomorrow, and any comment on any video of the week is eligible. Now, let me give this a quick refresh live. Bitcoin dominance back up to 68%, okay? So having a look right now, we're noticing that we see Zella is up. Wow. And wow, I haven't seen that. $17 million in volume. Interesting. Algorand, 14%. Dragon Coins, very low volume. Newton up 13% as well. Ravencoin, Beam, Factum, but for the most part, mild gains after that, and then essentially losses. Now, one coin in particular, Fusion, got hit really hard. There was something that happened in the news. We were talking about this in the Telegram group last night. We're going to go into this a little bit later after the analysis, but I'm definitely going to go into that. Fear and Greed, sitting at around 33, basically hasn't really moved since yesterday. And having a look at the volume, as expected on the weekends, it is incredibly low. In fact, you have Ethereum and XRP well under $100 million, Bitcoin around 276, and of course, Tether putting in 489. But super quick, before we get on with the video, I just wanted to give you guys a reminder. Actually, not a reminder, this is the first time I've even mentioned it, but the San Francisco Blockchain Week is from October 28th to November 3rd. Now, I'm going to be in World CryptoCon for Halloween, so I'm going to see if I can make it out to this, but if you guys are interested in going, I just wanted to let you know that I do have a promo code. If you guys are interested, you can get 15% off. So basically, it's just literally crypto. As you can see, I was trying it out earlier, but essentially you just enter Crypto Zombie and you apply it, and you'll see 15% off, okay? So I just want to let you guys know that. You're more than welcome to use it. I don't know if I'll be at San Francisco Blockchain Week. I'm going to try, but I'm definitely going to be at World CryptoCon, okay? So getting back into the charts, you do see that Bitcoin is well over, well, not well over, but it's over 70%, 70.25% dominance, according to TradingView. Now, here's why I am saying we are in a very critical situation. You can see right here, we have constantly been rejected by the 200 daily moving average, which a lot of analysts do consider that sort of the tipping point between whether or not we're in a bear or a bull market. Now, currently we're just sitting below it, so I'm not going to go and say, yeah, it's a bear market, right? I mean, we need to really see some more confirmation. We've only been sitting under here for a few days. We are in the blue zone. Having a look down here at the MACD, though, we're not having confirmation of a crossover, so even though we are going into the lighter color, I don't necessarily know that this is a good thing. I don't know if this is going to be a pump to the upside or the downside, right? We're hoping to the upside potentially, but I do want to talk about the bearish scenario as well, because that is something that we need to talk about realistically. Now, this is what I was talking about, this critical zone. You can see we do have this support, very weak up here, but this red line right here is that resistance at the $8,191 level, which you notice that ever since we fell below it, we can't seem to get above it. And the only times we do get above it, we tend to wick and literally instantly get stomped out by the 200 daily moving average. So why is this moving average keeping us down? This is the deciding factor apparently between the bear and the bull scenario. And you can also see that the Bollinger Bands are getting really close. So we're looking for a big move, okay? There's just a lot of things happening right now, right? We had the death cross on the 4 hour. We fell. We got below the 200 daily moving average. And Yeah, guys, the question is, are we going to have that 75% fall? Because having a look at what Josh Rager said, which, by the way, we're finally getting Josh Rager on the channel, so yeah, look forward to that. I'll keep you guys updated. But he basically says in 2013, the Bitcoin bull market pulled back 75% over 89 days before a 1,600% run-up to new highs later in the year. 2019, Bitcoin has currently retraced 42% over 91 days. Price can continue down, but expect the bull trend to continue after the pullback. Now, I just want to sort of show you guys that we have had 75% pullbacks from the all-time high to the bottom of the reaccumulation phase. So stay with me here. I'm going to show you guys really quick. This does actually happen. However, what Josh is suggesting is that we're going to have a 75% from that dump, which would actually be pretty incredible, or from the 14,000 all-time high. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. But essentially, you can see right here from top to bottom, if we go from the all-time high, back here in 2011 to the reaccumulation phase, you are looking at about a 75% pullback, okay, from the all-time high to the bottom of the reaccumulation. Now, if we go to the second high that we had in November 2013, right, that was around that $1,190. And if we go from top to bottom there, well, that was a 74.25%. So currently, if we go from top to bottom over here, you'll notice that Bitcoin is we only went down about 61%. So the question is, do we still have that extra percentage to put in? Well, here's the interesting thing, because basically what Josh is saying essentially is that we would have a 75% pull from the high here. So if we came down 75%, that would bring Bitcoin down to, about $3,400. Now, let me tell you why I do not believe that is going to happen. I think that is crazy, and I don't think Bitcoin is going to see levels that low again. And the reason is, you can see, as soon as we had enough data to start putting in the 200 weekly moving average, which basically sort of appeared around the end of April of 2014, you can see that Bitcoin has respected this hardcore, only dipping below 1, 2. We kind of rode on it right here. Didn't even come close during the entire bull run. Didn't even come close during the entire, bear here, until we finally had the 50% drop. And guess what provided the absolute support for the bottom? The 200 weekly moving average. So that is why I think that I do not think we're going to fall below 4,500. So looking at the 75% drawback from the 14,000, no, I don't think that's possible. However, looking at a 75% drawback potentially from the top, here, well, that could be possible, because if we pull back here, 75% brings us down to, this is, 75% brings us actually below this, but you can see right here, having a look at the VPVR, I do notice that around this $5,219 level, we do have massive accumulation of the VPVR. So I just wanted to point that out, but that is why this level of $7,900 is so critical, because we don't have a lot of trading volume there. So just keep that in mind, guys. Yes, we do have potential areas of support as far as, the support and resistance is concerned, but we don't have a lot of trading going on from the level of 7,911 to about 5,200. So just wanted to point that out moving forward. But honestly, who better to break down the scenario than Anthony Pompliano himself? He was on CNBC the other day, and I really like what he had to say here. And then I want to expand upon it after the clip.
The way to think about this is, just like you said, it's gone from worth very little to worth a lot more. There's been many bull and bear cycles over that time period, really 4 of them that you could count. And it's a volatile asset, right? But if you look at the underlying fundamentals, the strength of the computing network, etc., all of those things are hitting near all-time highs or all-time highs. So it's very encouraging. I think in terms of a store of value, it's still up over doubled this year, right? And so you're going to get this asset that can run 2, 3, 4x, and then it'll pull back a little bit, and then it'll run again. And when you have a store of value with artificial supply cap, you need increased demand for that price to continue to move upwards.
So essentially, you could see the situation. This is very common for Bitcoin. Bitcoin does this. It's extremely volatile. And if you are new to crypto, this may be a little bit shocking to look at your portfolio and watch, the dollar amount go all over the place. But once you're in it for a few months, especially if you've lived through this, You'll be fine. You'll be totally fine. Trust me, you're going to be good. But here's an interesting thing though. How long until the recovery, right? How long until we get back to the all-time high? Well, I do want to give a shout out to Yassine from ARK over here. And basically, he was talking about the length. And you could see right here that with the exception of April 2013 to February 2013, we basically keep getting longer and longer and longer and longer to get back to the all-time high. You can see right here, how quick we did back from December to February of 2011. And then looking from November 2011 to March 2013, you can see that took approximately, this chart is kind of hard to look at, but it was like somewhere around 450 days, and then almost 700 days for the January 2015 through January 2017. And currently right here, we're sitting at around like 280 something days. So it could be a long time until we get back to that 20K level. In fact, we're looking at the halving event next May. We may not see a 20K Bitcoin until after May of next year. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen. Anything can happen, man. It's crypto. It's Bitcoin, right? But having a look at this, but hey, listen, great opportunity to dollar cost average and accumulate, right? I don't mind accumulating for a few more months. But on the bullish note, I do want to point out the new chart from Plan B. Now, you might be familiar with him. He does the stock to flow. Now he has Bitcoin Fractal Dimension. So basically, he says that this changes over time and seems to indicate phases like bear, neutral, and bull. He says, note how consistently blue turns to green, orange, red, and vice versa. And yes, we are at the start of an orange-red phase, although it may not feel like it right now. So zooming in and actually having a look at the chart, you do notice that the colors do flow quite uniformly from orange to yellow to green to blue to green, right? And then sometimes we start to turn red, especially, you can see here when we were really heating up the 2017 all-time high. But essentially, you could see we fell down into the blue zone. We went into green. And even though we are dipping, it does look like we're putting in some mild yellow, right? Or some mild yellow-orange, which would be sort of like something around this cluster right here, or this cluster right here, right? So this is actually technically short-term pretty bullish, but I wanted to also mention that, you had over on Squawk Box, Joe, he had brought up the stock to flow ratio, and he had actually mentioned this to Anthony Pompliano and asked him his opinion on the situation, why Bitcoin's price is where it is and why we had that pullback, and this is what he had to say.
Even with stock flow, when it got up to 11 or 12,000, the actual chart, which is, I think it's a logarithmic chart, is it not? But 8,300 is where it is right now, right? So this is not far from what a stock to flow model would put the value.
There's a whole bunch of ways to measure value versus the price, right? So the value, there's the Mayer multiple, there's the stock to flow, there's these Metcalfe law charts, etc. And most of those charts are saying that we're right about where we should be, right to your point.
So essentially, we're pretty much where we should be. In fact, we were talking the other day about how maybe the price kind of got ahead of itself, right? We did have a really fast rally, whereas over the previous periods, it took a lot longer to get back up to those types of levels, right? That could be the situation. So having a look right here, yes, we are expecting a big move. Yes, it could be within the next 24 to 48 hours. Short term, could it go to the downside? Of course. Long term, well, I don't have to tell you guys. To the moon, okay? So that being said, let's talk about some altcoins today, because I think the altcoins eventually are going to start feeling some love. They did get hit pretty hard. I did tell you guys yesterday, not financial advice, this is just what I'm doing. Yes, guys, I'm still majority in Bitcoin, but I have started accumulating a little bit of Ethereum in this range. I think you see right here, I think it's a really good range. It was very well supported by the $154 level, and it does seem like it keeps getting stomped out by the $180 level. We got stomped out back here. So personally, I think anywhere between $150 to $180 is good accumulation period for Ethereum. Not financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. Also, speaking of altcoins, my goodness, what happened to Fusion? Down 52%. Well, this was a big topic in the Telegram group last night. It looks like about 6:30 p.m. Eastern time yesterday, the CEO came out and he announced in the Telegram channel that the token swap wallet, which is an Ethereum address used to swap the ERC20 tokens into the mainnet tokens, the native tokens, right? It had been compromised. So 10 million native Fusion tokens and 3.5 million ERC20 Fusion were stolen, which is about a 38% of the total circulating supply. After it was stolen, he said they found that the thief kept moving them in order to wash the address holding the Fusion tokens. But here's the interesting thing. They think that it was someone with access to the foundation's wallet's private keys that was to blame, and they said that the team does have some kind of evidence as to the individuals responsible and that it might be strong enough to contact the police. So it looks like this was a bit of an inside job. I'll keep you guys up to date on this, but that is really unfortunate. Has the price had a little bit of a rebound? No, it hasn't. In fact, no, it hasn't at all. So yeah, that's really unfortunate to see that, especially, that's just really unfortunate, guys. To anybody out there that was holding Fusion, that really sucks. That's something that, like, nobody could have seen coming. So, yeah. But anyway, on some kind of funny news, you had an employee at the Nuclear Research Center in the closed town of Sarev in Russia was fined for illegally mining Bitcoin. I'm not sure if this is the same story that we talked about a few months ago, but he was fined $7,000 for trying to mine Bitcoin using a petaflop-capable supercomputer at his workplace. The All-Russian Scientific Research Institute in Sarev, Russia, the nuclear research employee was convicted of unlawful access to computer information and a violation of the rules for storing information. But ending on this awesome news, you have Agatha Bacelar. She's a Stanford engineer and designer, and she is running against Nancy Pelosi for place in Congress. And essentially, she's only accepting, look at this, she's only accepting Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, or USD coins. She's received $47,000 of her $1 million goal. Her first goal, I guess, is $75,000. And she understands that blockchain is the key to building trustful live democracy tools, and that crypto is essential for promoting human rights and a viable future. So looks like we may have another candidate to start rooting for. And that being said, before we go, have you guys seen the Crypto.com Time for Plan B billboards? Well, looks like they're definitely pushing the narrative and just helping to spread the good news. So that is it for me today, guys. We are looking for a big move. Be safe out there, not calling it either way. We're in a very critical zone right now. I would be careful with the shorting. If you're looking to long, it's probably a lot easier to try to look at those resistances that we have moving up. Shorting is kind of playing with fire because we don't really know where the bottom is. We may only wick down to like 7.2 and then instantly pump back up. But you guys know you cannot go wrong with dollar cost averaging. That is the strategy. But if you are looking to get involved with this, I just want to let you guys know there's only 1 day left for the official promotion that they're doing. If you guys want, deposit 0.2 Bitcoin, get 110, or you can actually deposit 0.1 and get 50 or 60, I think, if you want to. And they're also running a promotion for an extra 200 if you meet certain trading requirements. So that's it for me today. Also, if you guys